Good evening. All right, let me start this today. It's a great honor to speak in front of you here tonight. And I want to tell you about my journey here at Hawaii College, in the Bridge program. Excuse me. Can you all hear me? All right. Okay. I'll start by saying I haven't had a hard life, but like everybody else, I had my ups and downs, and definitely wasn't a life without difficulties. When I dropped out of high school, it was because I wanted to change the environment. I was going to school during the 1980s and the Howard Beach incident, and it was a difficult time to go to school. My mother tried to get me transferred, but my advisor told my mother to don't even waste your time with me. Don't sign those papers. My mother didn't know any better, she didn't know English. So after that, I just lost my drive. Everyone has their reasons why they didn't finish school. It could be either family, work, or like me, just lost that drive. After a while of doing nothing, I started working in Kennedy Airport. Unfortunately, I got caught up with some bad people, and both the job and the people were getting out of hand, and it was time to bail out. Things were so bad, the police were involved. I learned from these events, what I learned from these events stayed with me for many years, because I had two educations, one from school and one from the streets. Unfortunately, there are adults out there that like to influence younger minds with bad influence, obviously. But being young and stupid, I never thought about my future, because I knew how to get on the boss's good job side at any job that I had. And as a young man, I knew everything. Boy, was I wrong. After a few turns in life, I made an attempt to do things right. And then one day, I met my future wife, Church. Life couldn't be better. I was happy. Life was complete. She's a beautiful, wonderful woman that only saw the good in me and supported me in the many things that I've done in life. She taught me to be a better person, and that no matter how bad we had it, we could always lend a hand to a person in need. She would raise our three boys with that same value. When my brother passed, it hit me like a truck. I gave up. I was totally lost. My mom, my dad, my sister, wife, they've always supported me. But even with the support, it was a very difficult time. We had our first son at a very young age, and I thought all I had to do was get a job and everything would be okay, right? No, only for the moment that was true. Only for the moment. I couldn't go far in my career because I didn't have my high school diploma. That would always be an issue for me throughout my life, over and over again. But it was easier getting work back then when I was younger. And besides, I knew how to get on the boss's good side, like I said. As a kid, people saw me as a quiet, nice, well-behaved, but destructive. Because I loved to take my toys and things apart. I wanted to see how they work on the inside. I was curious about toys. I've always had ideas, some were pretty dangerous, but that didn't stop me. It would only, when I got in trouble, that I would temporarily stop. As my assistant can attest to, which she's not here tonight, unfortunately. When we were 8 or 9, I decided I wanted to recharge my batteries, okay? In the 1970s, there were no rechargeable batteries. So I grabbed an extension cord, I stripped it down, I got my D-size battery. All the toys had big D-size batteries. If you're my age, you know what I'm talking about, all right? And I tried to charge those batteries. I connected it to the outlet. Nothing happened. Smoke started pouring out. Me and my sister jumped over the bed. Boom! The window pane broke. Obviously, that experiment didn't work out. But after all the trouble that I got into, that didn't stop me from being curious. Parents, take note. This is science, not destruction.
That's true.
It was all my dad's fault. He had to take care of me as a toddler, and I guess I was being in pain. He got a radio, cut the electrical cord, gave me the screwdriver, and boy, I went at it taking it apart. He inadvertently created a little monster. I needed to take that radio apart because I wanted to know if people were inside the radio. I was always curious, even too curious. But it served me well because as a team, when things were broken, or somebody needed the car fixed, who would they call? Hey, that's all. But that only inflated my head. And it made me think I didn't need my high school diploma. And I was going to show them all that I didn't need my high school. I was wrong there too. There are plenty of jobs out there and all I had to do was look. I had drive. I could learn things quickly. But it just wasn't enough. After I dropped out, my mother always told me, go back to school and finish. Because it's important to get my diploma. She told me to do this quickly because time would fly by, and it did. My wife also told me it's important to finish what you start, even if you're successful or not. And then you use the value of your mistakes as a learning moment. As a young adult, married, got a son, education was the furthest thing from my mind. But it wasn't like I didn't try either. For many years, I got that GED book from Barnes & Noble. And I tried to study on my own, went to a few classes, but nothing worked out. We had our second son, life continued. I had a few well-paying jobs, but it wasn't a career that I could build off of. And the feeling of being replaceable was getting stronger as I got older. 25 years old, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Made my life a little harder at that point, but I was enjoying it too much to even pay attention to my condition. I would later pay the price for doing that, because at the age of 35, I had a heart attack. Minor heart attack, but this brought me down, made me realize I couldn't ignore my health anymore. So I started looking into my health. And the whole time I'm learning all these new things about my body and diabetes as a whole. And I started putting the wheels in motion and slowly started getting better and stronger. And with the help of my wife and kids and family supporting me the whole time, like I said, I've always had a good support system, but I always didn't know it. When I got stronger, smarter, even my mother and friends started paying attention to my advice of taking proper care of oneself. In my 30s, it was a stressful time. My mother-in-law was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. It was a difficult time. We had a third son, but this disease slowly was stealing the strong mind of an independent woman right in front of me. It was hard to see what it was doing to her and to my wife. We took care of her and raised our 3 boys at that time with very little help for about 8 years. But we paid the price for doing that too. My wife would work days and I would work nights, and together we managed to take care of her and the kids by ourselves. After that time came to pass, I stopped taking care of myself. I fell into depression, my diabetes unchecked. I developed peripheral neuropathy, a very painful development of the extremity. After 2 years of many pills and the problems that come with those pills, I was fed up and I started to change things in my life that were hurting me. I was able to get off those pills and started getting better, but the damage was already done. At this point, I just had to go on, but I wasn't sure how. I adjusted and just kept going. But now more than ever, my plan of getting on the boss's good side was just not working long before I got to that point. And knowing that I was very replaceable didn't feel good at all. My wife always by my side and always supported me, told me, you learn new things all the time when I go back to school. I said to myself, I'm old. I have health issues. I can never keep up with these kids of today. I was good at making excuses, is all I can say. So I got a job and I thought this was the job and I had it all planned out. I was gonna stay in this place and retire. I was so happy again. And then one day when I was throwing out the garbage, I stepped on a screw. It went right through my sneaker, hit the bone. It got infected. And until today, I'm still recovering from that. 2 years later, mind you. Sorry, what's my face? I come to school every day with severe pain from my foot injury, from my peripheral neuropathy, and my fibromyalgia. I couldn't make excuses this time and people would understand, but not this time. With my foot injury, I was seeing the same doctor, Dr. Michael Delacourt, for about 2 years and 2 months. And of course, we would talk during these appointments. And one day, he flat out told me, you can't go back to the job that you were at, because it's bad for you. And boom, again, it hit me, got crushed. I had no plan, nothing, zero, nada. So last year he tells me, you know, Carlos, I think you can do this and go back to school. You're smart, you learned a lot to this point, so why not? It will be hard work, but you can do this. It's funny because he's also a teacher. But what Dr. Delacourt told me started something in my head. The gears were turning, and I started looking to going back. I didn't know where to start, so I went to my wife, the only person I can trust with this. And I told her I wanted to go back to school, and she was so happy. Because I just didn't buy the book this time. It was different. And I admitted that I needed help, and I was going to need some instructions. And I felt like I had something, but this time it wasn't drive. I later found out it was purpose. I don't know who was happier, my wife or me. She told me to check out LaGuardia College because it's close by and it's a good school. I found the task program. I'm ready to go. I emailed the person in charge of the regular tax program. But I emailed the wrong person. And I emailed the right person by mistake. The best mistake I ever made. She told me to come in and I came in and we talked. And she asked me a few things of what I knew and which program. I told her I knew a little bit about diabetes and I love to help people. And she noticed something special in me. So she told me to look into the Bridge Science program. I felt that spark in my heart. I was excited that I found purpose. Purpose drives you to another level. It fuels the fire of passion in your heart. It keeps you from being a procrastinator. So excuses were in the past for me. I knew things were going to be changed because now I have purpose in my life. And all that I went through in life helped me realize that yes, it is hard, but not impossible. I never realized how purpose can give you a track to follow, and as you're following, other passions are starting to be expressed. It makes sense now. I had a great support from my wife, boys, and family. I had drive most of my life. I gained confidence slowly as I moved along. I started to work on my attitude and allowed change to do its job on my mindset. I noticed that I really liked helping people out and understood the importance of it. Before the first day of class, I was already changing my whole attitude about school. It was those first days that I learned between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. Discovering this distinction helped shape me for success. I learned it was okay to ask for help, and if I made a mistake, I could learn from it, either through group discussions, one-on-one with other students, or with our instructor, Billy. Every day, that's right. Every day I look forward to coming to class, to be there with my classmates. That became like a family to me. You know where you are. It's a truly, considering it was a truly unique thing that happened that we came down because of the different backgrounds we all have. Very unique backgrounds. Then something magic will happen on our first in-class independence exercise. Y'all remember that? The colors? Yes, okay. Which is, which is designed to match groups of similar interests and personalities. This made working in said group easier, which paved the way to working with other students later on. Having a good support group helps you push you to do your best and feel open enough to ask for help when you need it. After we started to get to know each other a little more, we collectively realized that we all had similar problems and pain. And after some happy, emotional, and nerve-wracking days, we formed a bond that ensured we would check on each other to see if we needed help with classwork or life in general. My drive to help others developed further as time went on. And no problem, big or small, stopped me from trying to do my best to assist my classmates. There is something powerful that happens inside of you when you feel you can conquer any obstacle before you. And the feeling only increases when you have a group of people like those in this bridge program, Alexia, Lucila, Chris, Billy, and so many others that make it their job to always have your back. And it goes double for my classmates, and in particular my group mates, Dale, Nancy, which are not here, and Jacob. Purpose has a way of changing the whole script. I know where I'm going and the direction I have to take. Of course, it's going to be hard work, and teamwork is key to success. Every victory, big or small, to gain confidence, to stay true to oneself. Finding and taking advantage of every possible resource, that too is hard work, but it pays off at the end. The faster I understood this, the better it was. My support group means the world to me. We take care of each other. We ask each other for advice. We bring something to the table. We push each other to do our best. And when somebody's falling behind, we leave no one stumbling behind on their own. All my classmates are as valuable as my group. Every single one helped me to be the person who I am today. Many of you that I want to thank because you brought energy, sunshine, and love, like I said. Everybody brings something to the table. Nothing happens overnight. As you can see, I'm a work in progress. But I wouldn't be here today without all my classmates that I call as friends as well. In the words of an unknown author, don't let my words fool you. I'm not perfect and I don't want to be. This version of me wasn't built overnight. This is experience, this is pain, this is insecurity, this is abuse, this is depression. I had to go through things to get to this level now. Everything on earth has a purpose. Every disease has an herb to cure it. Every person has a mission. An American Indian theory of existence, morning dove. 5 daily reminders for success that I tell myself every day. 1, you should be telling yourself too. 1, you're amazing. 2, you can do anything. 3, positivity is a choice. 4, celebrate your individuality. And 5, you are prepared to succeed. There's a Nelson Mandela quote that I love to use. I never lose. I either win or I learn. This is what I learned. Mindset, change, purpose, being positive, confidence in yourself, asking for help, finding support, teamwork, be different, stand up for injustice, be active. It doesn't happen overnight, and there's lots of hard work on oneself. Put in the hard work that's required and you will see the results. I would like to thank my wife and boys. I'm eternally thankful for you putting up with me and all the love and support you've always given me. My mom, dad, and sister, I love you so much for all you've done. I would like to thank Neil deGrasse Tyson for being generous with his time and coming to our class and hanging out with us. Your words will stay with us forever. You will never believe how it touched us. We laughed, we cried, and we will take your words to heart because the universe chose us to do important things at this time. Thank you, Elizabeth, Neil's awesome assistant, for working the schedule out so he can be with us. You're the best. Thank you, Mohammed Fayez, for speaking with us and being with us here with us tonight. Thank you, LaGuardia College, Bridge to Science staff. Alexia Mannheim, thank you for seeing that something special. You both are very special place in our life. Lucila Sanchez, thank you for being the best advisor ever. Your talent is truly a blessing. Billy Wharton, as humble and passionate person that you are, your gift of going that extra mile for a student is inspirational to see. I hope that I too can reach and inspire people the way you do. My classmates, this is a really hard one for me because there's so many people to thank. So I'm just gonna say names. Denise, that's a special girl. Valletta, Kissy, Titi, Jesus on the main line. Fatima, Aisha, Michelle, Shanasia, Estefani, Crystal, Janice, our future Hollywood actor, Pamela, Shakura, Max, Clay, Angel, Yoeli, DeMarco, my group. Nancy, I'd like to thank you for your inspiring energy and strength. You're one of the hardest working moms I know. Dale, thank you for being so sweet and supportive. You've come a long way from the shy person that you were, and I love you in the math power presentation. Those two couldn't be here tonight, unfortunately. Jacob, dude, you're the man, okay? Thank you for being the driving force in our group. Your willingness to help others is so awesome. Thanks for helping me with my math. I see you going really far. Thank you for giving me the honor of working alongside with you guys in all the projects we worked on together. I'm so proud of you. I have a lot of love for my group, classmates, the Bridge program, and our advisors and all these people. Thank you so much for your time.